That seemed way out of sync for me.
Yeah, it seemed out of sync for me too, but that's fine. That's been happening all night. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hopefully this isn't too much work for you, future Tyler.
I'm sure it will.
And welcome to what we're hoping is the final episode of Road to Redemption: The Winding Path.
If it's not Kyle, give me a little stinger of you saying second to last episode. Now edit it in clumsily.
Second to last episode.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
I love that.
All right, welcome, guys. I'll do a quick recap if you aren't keeping up. Go listen to the other episodes. We just posted the first one some time ago.
And when you're listening to this, we posted both.
Yeah, at least the first and second episode are up right now. So go ahead and give them a listen. But last time we left off for the boys, they were getting tatted up and kind of shooting the shit, reminiscing, when all of a sudden Eldrick's sword started floating out of the room on some spooky ghost business, and it turns out it wasn't. It obviously was a person. They chased him down the hall.
You say obviously. Do ghosts not exist in this world?
I have super secret spooky
But it kind of left
ghost
them
business.
shook because this is the second time sort of within this sort of span of time that they've been kind of doing their own thing and trying to relax, that something has kind of come back to Eldrick. Like some sort of Eldrick and the sword specifically. So like it's not too far-fetched to say that either Bagan or someone who knows about Bagan's sword is out looking for that sword. Why? We don't know.
Because it's a
It kind of
badass
lets
sword.
you guys. It kind of lets you guys a little shook. As I don't know if y'all saw too much of the character, but it was an Eric Cochran woman, and she sort of like melted into the ceiling and disappeared.
Yeah.
And that was spooky.
Were we not
We tried
outside?
to counter.
No, we were.
No, y'all were in like
in
a
a
courtyard
cave system.
area within Restuary.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
it's like an artificial.
I forgot. I forget we're underground and there's always a ceiling.
Yes, and also Restuary proper, like inside the like actual like facility that is Restuary, they have like an artificial courtyard that's like a fake skyline area. So it did look like she floated into the sky. You weren't wrong.
Yeah.
But
Also, I'm not mistaken in remembering, Restuary is like primarily built into like a cliff face, right?
yeah, it's so the
Like it's not
Restuary,
exclusively
it's-
built into the cliff face. I just remember I thought a big part of it was.
So Restuary itself was found in the wall, like the body that is Restuary, like the cube and everything, and the well were the only things that were there. The rest of the like sort of building within it was built by the people who found Restuary in the first place, and sort of it's like just they don't know how like many layers of Restuary there is too much because they're constantly opening new rooms and new wings and things like that. Like it's one of those things where it's like built into the bones of.
Yeah, they're expanding the ruins of whatever this place was as they're needing to. And also they're probably going slow just because like by the very nature of the place, it's like they want to make sure they do things properly, preserve stuff. Like it's
Exactly,
like
'cause,
it's a
like-
guild of archaeologists and they're in ruins, so they're going to be fucking careful and slow.
And like for all intents and purposes they seem fine, and it's got this like theoretically like just renewable power source with this like well in the center of it, and so they just used it within the means of how it worked as they learned about it. But as you guys are kind of sitting there a little shook by things, you kind of had your little piece about like, yo, what was that? I'm sure. But now it's back to the top. I don't know whose turn it was, if I'm being honest. It's been a while. It's been a while.
So in the
think it's
first episode where we did each of us individually, it was me first, then Matt, then Jeremy, I believe.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
yeah.
And we'll start at the top with you, Boognacious. What is it that you want to do with Boognacious?
So I want to, kind of following a similar trend to the last one where I wanted to form a new posse. I think Boognacious, upon like having that interaction with them and all that, I think Boognacious recognizes and kind of not regrets, because there's not really anything to regret, but recognizes our team, like this team here, the main team, our team's lack of communication skills. And I think I want to try to learn to be more of a people person, or like more of a handy communicator. Because I think I was probably potentially the best communicator of the three of us. Like I don't think that
I can't-
No, definitely not you, Kornoth.
No. I can't speak for. I was gonna say I can't speak for Matt's character, but Kornoth turned to you because he's terrible at communication.
Yeah.
He based whether or not he was speaking well off of your response to it, and I think that came up a couple of times in the story itself, where Kornoth would be like, "Did I sound like a Nestle just like?"
I was gonna say. Also, none of us thought to like reach back out to like the guild.
Yeah.
Like all of us had
during the whole
back.
thing, and you quite literally had a fantasy cell phone or tablet with you.
Well, to be fair, Bugnacious and Eldrick really didn't care about the guilds at the time.
Yeah,
we cared about the mission and all that. That was really Kornoth's bag.
Yeah.
Communicating with the guild.
Like,
as we established,
like I don't want it to seem like they're the authority. It's just like that's people ask to do things that they can't do as normies, right? Like adventurers go out and do things that like Blow Joe, who isn't even level 1 yet, can't do. You know, but I feel
I want to up my personal skills.
No, that's fine. Do you want to hit the mean streets and look around, or like what's your vibe?
I was going to say, I definitely feel like I would be staying in like Restuary, because that's where I feel like Bugnacious would think, like, if I want to be around people, that's where I probably, if you Restuary or Redemption.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Redemption instead.
I meant Redemption. I kind of picture that as like the hub of where all the people are. I don't want to go talk to other Booglin. I want to talk to like the masses.
Also, a little side story. In the world building, we definitely named Redemption the Light. Yep. So from now on, if you want to call it the Light, here's what we talked about. Also.
Yes, we did this. We misnamed the town the entire Road to Redemption 1.
Yeah.
But what we also said, and I think it kind of gives us a little bit of a pass. I mean, we definitely did fuck up, but I think what gives us a little bit of a pass is we talked about how a lot of people who've been around a long time still call it Redemption. And the Booglin have been here forever. I know Kornoth has been here forever.
So I don't.
Eldrick,
just
I'm
for
not sure.
People, for people's sake, I didn't want them to be confused.
We know.
If I ever refer to it as the Light or
we know, but we're just gonna keep calling it Redemption. But I'm gonna keep calling it Redemption because I'm dug in. I'll never change.
I think you head up to you take the Grand Lift this time instead of sort of like taking the Wilds route, because you're just trying to get into it and kind of get involved with what's going on, and you see some of the buildings and some of the storefronts are all being set up for decorations, because as you know, the I forget the name, the Day of Descent is upon you guys. Like in like a few months, not a few months, but like a few weeks, they're gonna be like setting up for celebrations and stuff in terms of like getting everybody to kind of take their break and kind of step away from like all the duties and the struggles of the day.
I think as shitty as life is down here, like these people really look forward to their holidays.
Yeah, it's like these it's popping off.
I get to really.
You can see some of the early houses that already are like, or like even. Or even like when Halloween comes around and people already have their decorations up like October 3rd. Like you see people with like their houses already done. You see storefronts setting up like new signs and deals that'll be coming up within the weeks or whatever. So it's like it's kind of popping, but everybody's a little more busy than normal. But you see a few people. But out in the sort of town square proper where the pillar, I forget off the top of my head, the Pillar of Remembrance, is set up. There's a small sort of gathering of folks. There's a few crowds of like what seems like bards setting up like instrumentation and stuff, kind of like in a staged area. There's a couple of these echo singers that are like not necessarily related to bards per se, that are like drinking tea and sitting and smoking out of these like little like built into the sort of surrounding hookah kind of things that they've set up, that are like puffing these like thick clouds of like wispy green sparkly smoke, and they're just kind of like rips. They wear these long sort of like iron rings around their necks and stuff, and they seem to be not talking so much as like having just gentle conversation to save their throat maybe for what is to come for festivities and whatnot. And then you see amongst like kind of ping-ponging through these groups, you see this guy, and he doesn't look like in the same attire as some of these like more fancier types with this guy stuff. He seems kind of like a spectator, kind of like you, but like from the town proper. He's wearing sort of like this big sort of like Newsies hat that kind of comes down over his eyebrow so you can't quite see his hair or anything. And he's kind of got a cloak on, and he's like gesturing through his cloak, and he's kind of showing them, not in a like perverse way, but like he's clearly got wares and things that he's trying to sell these people that could be potentially helping them with whatever it is they're doing. And a few of them give him like the time of day, like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. A few people check things out, and other people are just shooing him away because it seems like he's been here for maybe a while.
Yeah.
And you see him kind of catch your eye as you're glancing about, and he's waves you down, and he gives you one of those smiles of like somebody who's got to tell you whatever the fuck's on his mind immediately. And I don't know how you read this fella, but
I think pretty immediately, like I feel like it's pretty clear. I'm like, okay, here we go. All right.
Yeah, no, this guy, you hear him approaching before he's like fully to you, as like his entire coat, now that you can see it further, is like this patchwork coat of like pockets and like these dangling claws. Like it seems like it's like there's some of them are like really fancy cloths, and other stuff is like older, worn to time that he's like stitched together over.
Sounds like a kind of cool
years,
cloak.
but it's all pockets. It's all like from outside and in, each layer of this coat that he has.
It's everything pockets. He's just pockets. You look at him, he's a pile of pockets.
Please tell me he's selling pockets.
No. It's with it, and he comes up to you, and he grabs one of your many hands outstretched with both his hands. He's like, pleasure to meet you. Name's Pickens Pockets. That's right. All these pockets here filled with what you'd be picking. I've got anything from tinctures to help you sing.
Wait. Are you gonna? Do you pick pockets?
No,
as well?
No.
Like,
I get the name. No, my name is Pickens Pockets. It's because of all the pockets that I have.
You recognize how that
No,
sounds.
It would be. I mean, I get that the coat that I am wearing. Listen, I get that the coat that I am wearing is covered in pockets, just right for stuffing things in. But if anything, I'm like a calling thing for pickpockets. Come pick me all the time. Pick it. That's why I have all these ones on the outside, so they don't pick the ones on the inside, and they can get anything. It doesn't matter. I don't have.
You've revealed your secrets. It's nice to meet you. I'm Lil Crumb.
Yeah, sure. Listen, pal, I have been here for a couple of days, and I've been trying to find someone who I think is the perfect, and I mean this, truly. I have not said this to anyone else here, because they won't give me the time of day if I'm being quite honest with you, but someone who is perfect for something I have here. You see, I am a man of many talents, a man of many sales, a man of many things, but I don't personally have a audience yet, a sort of clientele, as it were, to sell these things. And I have too many things here, but I know how to sell. I know how to sell whatever it is. It doesn't matter. My problem is I don't have a front man. I don't have somebody catching their eye. I don't have somebody with the chutzpah that I see in you. Look at you. You literally look like the vacuum of fucking space. Sorry about the cursing. I know my mother tells me not to do it. I shouldn't, And at this point, you see as
don't
he lifts
let it fucking happen again.
As you see him lift his hat, you see it's a slight like maybe like early 30s like human wise gnome gentleman. Okay. He's got like scraggly sort of like patchy beard. It's not quite like well kept, but you can see he's kind of trimmed the cheeks a little. He's trying to keep himself clean and proper. He doesn't smell like he looks.
Kyle,
if that's a good descriptor of what I can say about this person.
Can I interrupt just very quickly to clarify that the bona fide sentient pile of pockets is like, I need someone else to draw people to me. Because I am not enough.
No, but that's the thing. He tells people his name. They have the same assumption Bugnacious had. He's going to pick their pockets. They already are on edge. He's a short fellow with a big dumb hat and a coat covered in pockets.
Okay.
He's not the most appealing front man. He's the guy with the product. He's the guy who can get them,
So
going.
it's not that he doesn't catch their eye. It's that he's sending the wrong message.
He's catching too much of the wrong type of eye. People are asking him all these questions. He works. Anyway, I'm an honest man.
I get it.
All of these items that I own here are items I have purchased myself or found in my travels. I have not stolen from anyone. I am not that kind of guy.
One of these pockets has the receipts.
Do I embellish about some of the items? Yes. Do I upsell? Yes. Do I give people things that might not work anymore? Yes.
Is some of it stolen? Yes.
I love everything that's going on here. Love the coat. Think it's really cool. I love the patches. I love the pockets. What is it that I could possibly do for
I
you?
I think since I don't necessarily have my own storefront, no advertising and things, I was thinking maybe, perchance, I could convince you to draw attention to our fine establishment here by doing some, maybe you got those swords, you look like very nimble on your feet, I seen the way you move, you maybe some acrobatic-y kind of thing, maybe some sort of performance, get the crowd going, get the people going, and then when they're drawn in by your moves, I come out and I'm doing my dance with all the pockets and I'm showing them things. I've got things that I can throw in and kind of try to zhuzh up the show, but when they figure out, oh, this guy with the pockets, he's that's the real deal, that's when we get him. And any profits I start to make off of that, you get your trade in from there. You're kind of getting your face known for a fun-loving kind of guy, getting ready for this festival deal. You know, like people will want to hire you after they see you work with me and doing your fancy. You know, you are you picking up what I'm putting down? We're making a name for you outside of just a guy with swords walking around looking like.
You don't know what I'm about, but I think I'm picking up.
I know enough to, and he kind of just eyes you up and down. He kind of lifts one side of the hat, and it shows you one eye. He lifts the other side of the hat. He looks at you. He gives you like a pat, like a legitimate, honest, like pat down the side. Yeah, you're sad. You're very sad. You're incredibly sad.
I reveal
and you are looking
nothing, but
no,
on the inside, I shed a little tear.
In my eye, you're looking for a change to sort of get you out of this funk. And I think opening up, letting your butterfly out of the caterpillar, if you will. I feel like interpretive dance. Something I don't know what it is, but there's an air about you that just screams. You've got art within you. Your words don't come out your mouth. Like you focus too much on like what people think they want to hear from you. What people think. No. I think once you are confident within you, within your skin, you're very. Again, you look like you dropped out of the literal sky. I don't got questions about that. Might buy that. Is it buyable? Can I buy a wing? Or
no.
Is that painful? Okay. Well, regardless, I think once you sort of see what I see, once you start to dance and drift within it, get loose, cut loose.
You know what? What the hell? Let's go for it.
All right, and so he sort of sets up his thing. He reaches into what seems like a really small pocket, but down to his elbow, and he pulls out a sort of lap drum situation.
Is this bees?
No. Definitely different. Definitely not bees.
Bees isn't a no.
Listen, I'm not a bees. I've never been a bees in my life.
I didn't ask him that in person. Boognatius doesn't know who bees is.
But no, yeah, he sets up this like lap drum sort of situation that's kind of like it's almost like a long sort of like charcuterie board style like tambourine drum lap situation, and he starts to rap out this beat, and he's like, hey, picking pockets, I've got items. He's like doing this little spiel. He's like doing like a sort of rhyming song, and he kind of like nudges you out in front.
Yeah.
And this here, this is proof enough, eh? Look at this guy. And he's like he's really trying to zhuzh you up, and he wants to see, give me a...
Well, question really quick before we move on. I can't remember. Am I able to manipulate the suit like... How does it work?
The suit does respond to you. Yeah, you
like, am I able to use it to like zhuzh up my dance moves and make it look like almost like alarming? Like you just gotta look at whatever's going on there. You know what I'm asking?
I think. Let's see. You could give me a mind roll, I would say, or a soul roll. And depending on the outcome of that, because like I like the idea of that, because the suit has already shown that it responds to certain things. Like I don't think necessarily you have to like attempt to do this. I think you kind of just give me the roll. I got something for you.
That's a 13.
Holy fuck! On what? A mind
10.
or a body?
You said
a mind or a soul?
Soul, but it's a 12 on mine, so it's good.
I think as he's doing this, like at first you're like not buying into it, but like you kind of want to like. I feel like with Bugnacious too, you kind of like, this dude's confident, but he's confident in a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But for you, you're kind of like in this space of like, okay, if he wants me to show out, I'm going to show out. And you start to do this sort of like dance in rhythm to these like haphazard beatings of this like tambourine lap drum situation. And as you're doing that, you trace a hand down the front of the suit and it begins to part. Like you're unzipping it. And you're doing almost like this like burlesque interpretive dance thing as the suit peels down and falls to your feet into the pool of your shadow. And beside you, it rises up and starts to do the same sort of motions. And the people, including like a lot of the like sort of artisans and like singers, are now sort of like turning and like, whoa, like they've never seen something like this before. And the suit is sort of perfectly merged with the shadow you're kind of leaving as like, this isn't quite under the dome that kind of shines down over like the portion of the city, but it's about midday-ish. So there's enough glint to have this sort of like display cast in this like gray and white sort of, it's amazing. Like you don't even know how you pull this out of yourself. And these people are like sort of drawn in by the dance or whatever. And I think at a certain point, Pick'n'Pocket stops talking. And he's also enthralled by this. Because you say you got a 13. I told you 10 and above is a fucking success. A 13. Yeah. Like, everybody's just drawn into this stuff. And I think at this moment, you're not even really, like... I don't think nervous, necessarily. I think there was some nerves. Because, like you said, this is a little... Like, you're trying to do a sort of confidence boost thing. Yeah. But I think in this moment, you're sort of, like... lost in the dance that you don't think about it. And then, like, once you start to notice the crowd gathering, maybe some nerves build up. But you're so fluid with this, and you kind of look over at the suit, and the suit's like, I don't know, if the suit could convey it's having fun, you could tell that the suit is like, we got this, man. I don't know what this is, but this is not what I'm normally used to. Like the suit kind of is like also in this moment sharing that bond with you. And I think after you like, he kind of crescendos to this like hi-hat sort of like rapid beat and stops. And you kind of drop backwards and the suit catches you and it envelops onto you as you kind of drop to one knee. And everyone just bursts into applause. And even the guy on the drum, he's like, what the? Like, and everybody's sort of
Thank you. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I think everyone in that space is sort of like coming up to you and asking you questions. You know, like there's a couple of the third singers who's like, excuse me, what do you call that magic that you just did there?
Oh, I call it capoeira. I just invented it.
I figured it was like a mix of like the fighting style with you being a hunter and everything.
No,
that totally tracks.
I don't think it really is much of capoeira. I actually picture it being almost more like a Tai Chi kind of thing, but I just call it capoeira. I mean, like a lot of flowing doesn't know that that's not what capoeira is.
It's like Tai Chi meets capoeira meets burlesque. I think it's respectful for all.
It's a little sexy. I don't think Bugnacious is interested in the sexy aspect of it. It's a sensual,
dangerous dance. Yeah. And people are really taking note of this, and they're like, are you with one of the troops of performers? And as this third person is speaking to you, like you can tell they're like restraining the way they speak, but as they speak, like the air will kind of hit the suit and leave a ripple. Like you can tell something about if they raise their voice a bit too much, there seems to be almost like an air of arcane to it, and they're like very fascinated with you. And they have these like I said, these brass rings that kind of bind their necks. And like now that they're up close to you, you can see these sort of like inlaid sort of gems that have these like rubies and stuff. And like this person just seems like not necessarily like the fare of redemption proper. Like this person comes from one of the other layers, I'm sure, but like all these people are like sort of just in awe with you, and Pick'n'Pocket's like kind of is going through the crowd now. He's like, yeah, this guy was with me. I was also here playing the drums.
Yeah.
That was incredible. I mean, you kind of stole the show a little.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about
merchandise.
Don't want to.
You're fine. Yeah.
Don't want to show our hand. We knew this was gonna happen.
He turns the lap drum over, and a couple people start throwing some gold into the lap drum, and he's like collecting it as he's going through the crowd and stuff like that. And he's like, I mean, hey, I don't know if you're doing anything for Day of Descent, but if you want to make some more money, we could do this again. Maybe put together some kind of performance with other talented folks. But I mean, here, and he gives you half of the gold, and you see, you guys got 50 gold each. There's 100 gold that all these people kind of gave out to you guys. And
I look at the gold, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm in.
He's like, I listen.
The gold doesn't particularly interest Bugnacious, but he had a good time.
Mm-hmm. He's like, this all. Hey, this is all going towards me having an actual store in the first place for me. So I mean, I get it too. I'm saving. I'm not spending. I mean, unless I see something cool like this suit. I mean, hey, if you're willing to part with that suit, I could pull some strings, maybe get you something.
We'll
replace
see.
it. Or...
We'll see what you can offer me. And then I whisper to the
like
suit,
I said,
not really. I would never.
And I think the Echo Singer kind of laughs and they cover their hand with their mouth. And they just walk back off to the little hookah lounge area that they had set up with their group. And a couple of the bards are like, you can kind of see them like over in the corner, like doing some of the moves you were kind of putting down, like taking note, like feverishly taking notes of this. They're like, that is.
I just created
incredible.
the new dance craze. I just created the new squirrels in my pants.
Like one of the bards is like, he comes up, he's like, could you imagine this big bonfire? You set up behind a tarp and casting an actual shadow dancing. It could be the new craze. He's like losing his mind over this idea. And you see people just without you even like really talking to them. You talk to the one outcast and now all these people are like abuzz with like you and like what you're about. Like, and he's like, I don't know why you were down here, but I really do appreciate the business. I'll be honest. Thought you might be a rube who didn't really have much going, and I could convince you to buy something. But that was great. That was that was incredible.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't spend a whole lot of time here in Redemption. I actually came here originally because I was hoping to sort of up my social skills. I'm not the best talker, and you seem like maybe rather than money, maybe we can kind of make a little bit of a deal. Because I had fun. I had fun doing that just now, and it seems to have done good for your business.
I mean it. Yeah. Sorry, I've been doing this for a while, and people aren't so receptive to a guy who, I don't know, looks like me. Acts the way I do, sells them things that may or may not work. But
I'm a giant.
I'm gonna give you something real. I'm gonna. And he reaches into his coat,
and he hands you a gun.
He's like, here, and he gives you a scroll. He's like, this is a one-time deal. Like, you use this and you're done. But this is a scroll of Silver Tongue. This will help you with kind of trying to smooth talk your way out of certain deals.
Scroll of Silver Tongue.
Mm-hmm.
What's that do?
It gives you advantage on charisma rolls. Basically, I'll have it for you later. But basically, like, I was planning on him giving you like a thing that's like a little like crafty thing or whatever, or like a potion or whatever. But he gives you the scroll. He's like, if you're ever in a situation where you feel like your words are failing you, this might be the pick me up you need. Like I said, it's the one time deal. If you work on it yourself, I mean, you seem, no offense, you seem like you got yourself. I don't know.
Well, if you knew the crew I hung out with, we tend to dig ourselves into like a little bit of a hole. And I'm not quite like I want to be able to like really.
Well, if I could speak to you, if I could speak to you, businessman to businessman, when it comes to employee and employee to employee relations, when it comes to work and things like that, I think it's best if you are in charge to sort of, I don't know, make sure you're communicating with them, but not authoritating it, right? They could be a pain in the ass because people are people, but make sure you're hearing them out. Make sure you're hearing what they're saying. Cut through whatever bullshit they're giving you and figure out what it is that they're really trying to get at. Because not a lot of people know exactly why they're talking. A lot of people just talk. If I'm being honest, as a king of bullshit talking, I know a thing or two about just saying words until people go away.
Yeah.
And some people are doing that for a reason.
So here's what I'm thinking. I think, and this might be stupid, but I think it fits with Bugnacious. Not trying to just move on.
No, you're good. Yeah, no.
I think Bugnacious is takeaway from this guy and also getting the scroll and
Pickens
everything.
Pockets.
Pickens Pockets. I have it written down. Sorry. My thought is that Bugnacious is
Pickins. Pickens Pockets. Yeah, Pickens, not Pickens.
I think that Bugnacious kind of needs to separate this side of himself from the normal Bugnacious. So in the future, whether that's later in this episode, if we all get together, Bugnacious is going to have a new voice that he puts on.
Okay, yeah.
I think he is going to change the way he talks whenever he's trying to, like, whenever his guard's down and it's just like us, he'll probably talk normal. But whenever we're, on business or, that kind of stuff, he's just going to carry this new voice as his.
I get it. No, yeah.
I'm putting on. He believes Pickens Pockets does not talk like that normally. He believes like he is completely putting on. He's like, I'm going to try to emulate this guy. Not do his voice, but.
No, I get what you mean. You're kind of like trying to take on a more like what you're talking about, even if you're talking about bullshit that doesn't actually make sense.
Are you saying Lil Crumb is developing his customer service voice?
That's actually exactly what I'm saying.
This is Lil Crumb's summer job.
What I'm saying.
This is Lil Crumb's summer job, and this is his boss, and his boss is teaching him bad life lessons.
Anyway. What's funny is I already have the voice picked out because I was toying with two different voices when we originally created these characters.
That's
and
perfect.
I decided on the one I went with. This is a perfect opportunity and it feels natural for me to switch. Yes.
All right. But yeah, from there, now we move on to Eldrick. Hi.
Hello.
Eldrick, do you have any particular thing you want to do with Eldrick? It doesn't have to be anything long-winded or crazy if you don't have anything that you want to do that yet.
So I do think kind of along the lines of what just transpired with the sword almost being stolen. I think he's going to want to check up on the village. I think he'll try to sneak back in if possible. And just kind of get a vibe of what's going on. Not really.
Are you doing that alone?
I think so.
I'm so glad you've done this for me. That's fine. No, you would know the path to this, and I haven't I don't have a map drawn out for this stuff, so I'm not going to bore you with too much of the details, but y'all are near the bottom of the never-ending darkness is where you're from.
Yeah.
And I think as you're heading down that way, what's going sort of through his mind? How are you traveling?
Hold on, Kyle, I need you to stop. The bottom of the never-ending darkness is breaking my brain. I need you to explain.
It's not literally.
He lives near the bottom of the never-ending.
It's not.
darkness.
It's never ending.
Necessarily.
Listen. It's never ending in that there are tunnels down there that will lead obviously deeper than whatever floor you would stop at.
I don't think never ending could possibly be literally.
I'm saying the elevator that sends normal people and adventurers to places in this universe will not go past a certain point because the pressures and things down there will literally destroy it.
So it's the bottom of the explored known.
Yes. It's like the Marianas Trench has shelves.
Obviously,
you're not going to say, "Nope, this is the bottom of the ocean."
It's known that it has a bottom somewhere because it's presumably on a planet with finite space.
You don't know.
I'm not just saying they're open. There are not.
It could lead into an extra dimensional portal.
I'm just going to say this right away. There are no open holes to the core of the fucking Earth. There's no hollow Earth theory other than there's tunnels through
some
the Earth.
Sort of extra dimensional portal down there that makes it never ending.
I'm losing my mind.
There's a portal down there that leads to the underground in yonder.
Yes, literally, but it's through magic means. It's not through fucking.
No, it's not the underground.
Don't remember that.
We're in yonder.
It's space.
Don't hold me to that.
But I think
it will never come up again.
Jesus Christ, what's going through Eldrick's mind as he's doing his traveling, and also how is he traveling? Is he traveling hoofing it? Because that's going to take a long fucking time, and people are going to wonder where Eldrick went.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have 3 years, so because I just looked back, I think each individual section's 3 years.
Yeah, I like. We're not getting into the minutia and math of it because
I think Eldrick would probably like let them know, like let Kornoth and Lil Crumb know where he's going, but I think Kornoth
would suggest buying one of those little hover lizard thingies.
What are they called again?
I can't remember.
Are they stealthy?
The Douglas.
Do I know Douglas? Are they stealthy? Do I know?
Yeah, because they get around here. Like.
Yeah.
Have
I had experience like riding them before?
You can roll and let me find out if you have.
Okay,
I'd be surprised if his tribe doesn't like ride them.
Like travel through that. Yeah, just give me a quick mind roll real fast.
Oof.
Give me a quick mind roll.
Okay.
Like you may have had them in your village and they may travel with them. Has Eldrick done that? Has Eldrick
7?
Yeah, I think you've done it. You're not like an expert rider, but you know like traveling light and like moving on something that can get through certain areas in ways that like people aren't necessarily going to always be expecting. And so I think, you probably like, I'm sure you've done dealings with like the local stable people out here anyway, but like being in the wilds and like you rent a Douglas.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go rent a Douglas and
it's like a more vibrant green Douglas, a little more slender. You're looking for something sleek and effective.
Very, very sleek, yes.
Not like a big bulky like pack one like you would have seen with
I'm very, very light. Just whatever I have on me, like, not like a huge like expedition or anything.
So I think with the Douglas that kind of cuts down your time a bit, and you're not necessarily like you would probably stop to camp if it's like far enough that like you've done that, but like I think it's like quick makeshift, like just a fire, eating rations, not cooking anything, and just going to sleep. And as you get further down into the never-ending darkness, that same sort of like pressure wall hits you. That intense sort of gravity and sort of like almost naturally occurring arcana that's just in the air of being in these lower levels. And who knows, it may have been even amped up from the taint that's happened to the world, but like, the wall of like, once you hit a certain level of the never-ending darkness, you gotta mind yourself and be careful of like how much energy you're exerting and everything. But as a native, it doesn't hit you as hard. So
I think
you're traveling.
I think once Eldrick kind of passes that point, he just kind of takes a deep breath, and it almost kind of gives him a sense of nostalgia, and I think he feels a little bit more at home.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I think as you're entering this lower level, for the first time in a long time of like that nostalgia wave hitting you, you kind of feel, the air about, and you can see sort of since Siegfried's sort of dealings and stuff have stopped down here, a lot of the native creatures are back and things like that, and like stuff you remember from your childhood. It almost feels like this was ripped, like plucked out of your memory, kind of being back in these moments. And then you start to crest a cliff edge nearing your village that's built into sort of like a widened tunnel, but like not like it's not like a man-made thing. It's like a naturally eroded sort of like downward sloping tunnel, and it's like these sort of like built into the walls sort of cities, and you hit the cliff edge and you just see the lights of this, but you see a larger light source than normal, like almost like light pollution if you can think about it in our real world. Like a lot more light coming from the village itself, and getting this close now, the naturally occurring sort of vent systems of the underground and like these natural air pockets that come through sweep the smell of soot and heated glass into the air. Like almost like a kiln, like a glass blowers sort of station vibe. Yeah. I don't know that you would have that knowledge per se, but like if I could give you an example for the real world, that is what you are smelling. Kind of just like the smell of heat in the air, like when it's like really, really hot.
Is that something that Eldrick would have normally smelled? Is that no, it's very different.
This is new. It is very different. Very I think the closest you said we talked in your past about you being sort of like a scout or like a guard within your village proper when you lived there. The only time you would have smelled something like that would have been in the heat of battle. Whether it be from yourself or your fellow crystalline dragonborns, but that hot rush of sort of your blood.
Mm.
And you aren't near the village enough to make out like anything other than shapes moving about and things, but you smell this smell pretty prevalently, and you are not yet in the village.
Oh, man.
You can see figures walking about in the sort of like, they're almost like if you looked at like the inside of like a coliseum, the way the structure is built out, it's like many sort of like halls that wrap around downward going into this sort of tunnel like eroded area that make up the homes and the sort of buildings of everything. But one in particular beset near where the council chambers are is where you can see that a portion of that light sort of coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the council chambers proper, but there's a new addition to that area that is glowing with like a hearth's fire. And you can see it's giving off an intense more light than your average forge or your average, sort of kiln situation. And that is where the source of this light is coming from. You can make that much out without even like using any sort of like binoculars or anything to like peer down and see things. Would you like to investigate further? To be sure, this is your home. It looks exactly the same except for this new sort of like spot.
Don't you wish more D&D stories would end with someone just being like, no, I don't want to explore that.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Sounds cool and all. Let's go to dinner.
Tell me more about that cool fruit on the wall. That's what
I think Eldrick will continue forward, just ever so cautiously.
All right, give me a body roll for some stealth.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think stealth would fall in the body because, like, unless you're doing a magic spell to stealth yourself,
9 + 3 is 12.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Let's go.
You love good rolls.
I think you
Does that mean Jeremy's rolling 2s?
Yes.
I think you sort of follow. I think you sort of follow some paths you remember that are now sort of overgrown and a little changed since your childhood, but like paths you would use to sneak out of the village to go do God knows what with your friends when you weren't supposed to out of the village proper, fucking around with the wildlife or playing in the trees and things like that, whatever. And you take this path inward and you are deathly silent. There's something to the air, not just that sort of presence of like this like pressure and this like air of like tension of being in the literal never-ending darkness, but there's just this air of like you almost want to hold your breath even outside of you being hidden in this way when you finally take your first steps into those halls. And your footstep it doesn't echo loud enough to alert anyone, but it echoes with an eerie refrain as you don't feel the life that used to be here when you were here, as joyous and about and bombastic. It's I said it was about midday when we ended Tyler's thing, so it's about like later evening, and like you can see some of the dotted homes nearing the council chamber lit with fires, but a lot of these halls are dark. You can see them now up close, these hand carved homes and doorways and things as you're walking about, and you almost feel a little like not that stealthing was a bad idea or like you didn't need to do it, but like you feel almost like a gut punch that you don't have to because you're so used to a lot more people being about and doing things. And now I'd say you see about half of the homes are lit with like the signs of people potentially inside or resting or having dinner, whatever. But there's not a lot of talk. There's not a lot of noise other than now that you've made it inward, the sound of gears and a stream of like almost like air being blown into a candle or a fire. The sound of like what you can tell is a forge or some sort of kiln being operated on the far side where you can see a lot of those lights and the council chamber lights lit.
Can I see what's being made?
From where you are, you can't. You would have to venture further. But with your stealth, you can venture over and you don't really have a problem. But as you venture past in a section of the homes nearing the further side of the council chamber where the kiln is not, you can see set up outside of these big doors that you remember you and Bagan kind of rushing through and going in when there was town hall meetings and stuff. You see statues. There's not really a lot of detail to these statues. They almost look like, if you've ever seen roughly made glass in like a volcano situation where there's like these divots where like it cooled unevenly and it was cut unevenly as well with like pieces of that same glass almost. It just, these statues stood at attention like massive chess pieces beside the council doors. They don't seem to move or anything. You can investigate them if you want, but they're not like, there's just these glass statues holding glass pikes and glass shields.
Oof.
And you're a bit closer now, and that heat, even for you, is pretty intense coming out of this area now that you're like, I'd say about like maybe 20 feet from that actual kiln location. And you can see now it is a crudely crafted stone, sort of like jutting outward, like almost like a vault door-esque thing to it, with a gate with a wheel nearing the front, similar to a vaulted door, made out of the stone. And it is not properly or fully sealed, and you can see that light pouring from the around the seal of that door. And you can see that door it's not locked, but it is closed.
Okay.
You can see that like there's a pulley mechanism that when you turn it, that activates locks. It is not locked. It is open. And there is sort of that acrid kind of like burning glass smell coming from the cracks in the door, and like a light sort of smoke. And it's quiet. It's just quiet. Like, other than the machinery going within there, you don't hear a conversation being had or anything.
As I was like kind of stealthing up towards where I am now, did I pick up any sort of conversations? Like, I think he would have tried to like stay semi close to like the houses. Is there anything that I could have picked up through like conversations or anything like that?
Give me a soul roll to see if you pick up on anything. If you were intentionally trying to go near the doors to see if you heard things.
Oof, not a good start. 8.
8?
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's a little higher than a mixed success, but it's still about a mixed success. I think as you were on the outer edge, this would have probably happened a bit before you got a little closer to that area. You hit one of the, you pass by one of the doors that are aligned there, and you peer inside through like a window slot that has like blinds drawn, but not fully. And you can see what looks like not the typical setup of the homes that you've seen before, but almost like a bunk room, barracksy vibe. Not quite like weapons strewn about or anything, but like a common sleeping area for a lot of folks. And within those beds, you see younger boys and girls, like teens, but no adults. And they're all sound asleep. You see a few of them stirring in their sleep, but you can't quite make out any conversations being had. But these are like, at minimum, like 10-year-old kids, at most like 16, 17-year-old kids. And they're all sleeping. It's about like 12 of them in this room. And you peer into another room, and it's a similar setup. And like you can see a few kids like by like candlelight or something looking at books or like huddled, but you can't quite make out any conversations.
Has Eldrick received Order 66, or is this
No,
are the younglings okay?
It's just striking you as odd that like none of these places that you remember as homes and like storefronts and stuff, a lot of these places have been gutted and turned into sort of these sleeping quarters. And then you'll peer into a couple other rooms, and there are rooms that are fully hollow with boxes and crates and things like that. And some of those rooms you see weapons, and some of those rooms you see rations and foods and things like that. But again, your attention and your mind are drawn to this area where you're smelling this sort of the smoke. And as you're passing by the council room doors where you saw those where you saw the statues, you don't see like windows in, because that's not necessarily how it's built to be like peered into per se. Like if there's a meeting happening and people can't quite get in, they would leave the doors open normally. But you can see a lower sort of colored like light coming through, like a fireplace might be going within, and you don't hear anything. You see a shadow move, but you can't see anything beyond the door because it is sealed and closed.
And this is the area where the forge is?
Mm-hmm. And there's like a couple shadows now that you see under the door, like maybe two, maybe three. You can't quite make out exactly, but you can't see enough to make out any shapes or anything. But you can see through the light happening within there that there is obviously some sort of through line to this other sealed room from the council chambers. And the door is sealed, but it is not locked because obviously people are moving about in there.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Is there, so kind of what I was imagining was like, so like it's almost like this building. Is there a way to like go over like?
Yeah, there's a chimney sort of aspect, but it's kind of like built into the side of this thing, so you would kind of have to like scale a cliff face a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you could theoretically climb in through like a chimney vent.
Yeah. Well, what? So I'm trying to get to like the forge area, correct?
Oh, it's all like.
It's all.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like built into the side. There's no like top like that, other than like I said, some vents. But there's like sides of this. Like it's like there's like a makeshift sort of like hallway that's kind of bridging this section to the council chambers, and beyond that is like a sort of alleyway that leads to a dead end. But like. That's as much of the side or like top of it as you would necessarily get to. There's like grates, but there's nothing like a window or like another door. You could try to look in through the grates or something. Or again, you could try to go through one of those vents. I'm not saying you're going to fall into a forge by going through one of those vents, because it's like a big ventilation system so that place isn't filling with smoke.
Yeah.
But like, which one is the right one? That depend on your role.
I think I might pull a Jeremy and can I use one of my abilities from my character sheet?
Oh yeah, what are you trying to do?
I'm gonna use my gem flight.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bust out my
you don't even have to roll for that. Yeah, that's like a natural recurring thing.
Yeah, I'll bust out my crystal wings and I'll fly up to one of the vents and kind of like see if I can't like get to the forge like through the vent system.
Okay, yeah. Give me. I think with that you could. Let's see. I'd say that's a body roll.
Body
flying through a tunnel thing. You're not necessarily. I could almost see a mind for trying to like ascertain which might not be a vent that you would want to go down, but it's up to you. Mind or body? I'll give you.
Ooh, let's go. 6 + 1 is 7 + 3, 10.
10. Okay, perfect. Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
That's success if I've ever seen it. So like you fly up to the edge of this sort of cliffside where these vents are kind of going up, and you're looking specifically to see which ones have the most sort of smoke coming from them, which of them is like obviously leading to like an area of like an exhaust thing versus like the actual kiln itself. And sure enough, you hit one of the tunnels and you start to sail down into an area where it's sort of like a pipe system that is not quite connected to the machine itself, but the actual pump causing the air to flow through a grate, and you hit this sort of like almost like fence-like grate as this thing is pumping smoke in other areas, but this one not so much smoke is coming through. And now that you have hit this sort of grate area, it's hard to see in terms of like the smoke, but you are what you can see now above what you surmised as a giant sort of built into the ground glass furnace. And the smell almost makes your stomach turn as you are now closer, and it smells of like the heat of battle, like hot blood, glass and fire. And looking into this, you see like this molten glass sort of like bubbling in this sort of like pool that you're like precariously over with a ventilation system that would stop you, but it would make a lot of fucking noise if something were to happen to knock you through there. But seeing this stuff, it moving, something about it just feels off. Like it's a murky sort of cloudy liquid. Even with the sort of like red hotness of it, you can tell there's something about it that doesn't feel right. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't feel right. Like being this close to it, like, yeah, you're hot, but that's not the thing that's bothering you. And that's when you see what can only be described as a hulking figure limping towards the pool of what you can only presume is like melted glass. And you can't see any features other than their frame is massive, and they're walking with this sort of dragged leg behind them that's a little smaller than the rest of the form, and you can see one of their arms on the side that reaches out is kind of spindly as well, whereas the left arm is massive, and from its sleeve many of those spindly arms reach out and are grabbing tools and these sort of like implements to spin and move the glass. And you can't make out too much more as he leaves the frame into a like more clouded area of the smoke with a tray of these things. But you can tell that the unease you were feeling was coming from him. Like the smell mixed with the presence this figure, this entity, whatever it is, was giving off is what was really hitting you. Like you could see sort of similar to if you remember back when you all first met Gene, where when he was standing in the open of the never-ending darkness in those lower levels, that sort of pressure, that thing of the air is actively avoiding this figure, just like it did Gene. And you can hear the bellows being pushed as more air is coming up and smoke starts to obscure your vision again. Not that they've seen you, but you can no longer make out anything in the room outside of that. But you know that where you are, you could safely drop out and not drop into the glass.
Yeah.
But you would be exposed beyond the smoke's cover.
Yeah. I think I'll start to kind of retreat a little bit.
You're stepping back out of there?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back
I'm gonna make you roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you roll for that.
Yeah.
You're smart enough to remember how you got in, but yeah. I think as you are exiting this area and you're kind of landing back off to the side near that, you glance back at the council chambers,
mm-hmm.
and you see the doors are still closed,
mm-hmm.
but the glass statues that were standing outside of the council chamber are gone.
Oh, motherfucker.
And as you drop down in front of the kiln, you see standing perfectly still, now that you're kind of like observing them, are those statues.
In front of me?
They're in that area where you are. They're just standing perfectly still.
Are they pointed towards me, or?
They're pointed towards the door. They're not necessarily looking, like craning their necks upward, that they are pointed towards that door.
Yeah, I think Eldrick would instantly try to take some cover as best as he can.
Okay. So give me another stealth roll then to try and see if you can like duck off and see if you can observe them. Yeah.
Damn, just so good. Another 10.
Another 10? Yeah, no.
Wait, no, sorry.
I'm going to be rolling straight ones because of you.
Yeah, another 10.
Because he's burning all the fucking good rolls. Oh, yeah, you kind of, upon seeing this, like you jump a bit and go flush with the sort of upper half that you landed on. And you're kind of covered in soot, so that also probably definitely helps being in that sort of smoky chamber. But yeah, they are standing in front of that doorway, and you see in a second the Aarakocra figure, the female, materialize in between them, like drop the invisibility or whatever it is that she does to become invisible, and she sort of manifests through the floor, and she kind of looks at the statues odd. She was like, and she looks around before she enters into the forged area. Like, she looked at the statues like in a weird, almost like knowing confusion, and then she enters the forge. She did not notice you. On a 10, you succeed. Like, I'm not giving you that shit. Like, you're good. But she noticed something was off.
I think Eldrick's ready to turn tail and get the fuck out of Dodge.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think that's no problem then. With that stealth, you're able to kind of sneak your way back to the Douglas.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of loading things back up and getting onto the Douglas, you can see sort of nearing the edge of the cliff, not quite where you are, but just where the outskirts of town would be. Those statues are there. The exact same statues. Like, they picking up on, like, you can tell by now that something about them is picking up on the fact that you were around.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily know where you were, but they've stopped at this sort of line where you know is to be the edge of town.
Fuck.
Do you mean, and sorry, Matt, do you mean like literally the same statues or the same like shape? Like the same
quite
apartment?
literally, no. Yeah. I quite literally mean the same statues.
I thought so. Yeah. I just wanted to double check.
Like, I didn't want to go into the detail of it, but like if he were to ask me to describe them again, I was going to give him pike, shield,
exact
glass,
same,
rough thing, exact same statues. They have moved from the council door to in front of that door where he was, and then now they were at the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Almost like they were observing, but not.
Is there another way out of this?
You're not sure. You don't.
As I get to the Douglas, I'm gonna pull out my little tablet thing. Not really like, I'm assuming I've had enough time where I like really know this thing and I can kind of like work on it without like almost
you don't have to like roll.
I'm literally going to stare at the fucking like things, the fucking statues, like, and just type up everything I like without leaving an eye, like without looking away from them. Just type up really
like
quickly
the detail of what you see,
the detail
about
of
them.
what I saw, and then if I could take a little like screen, like a little can I capture like an image? Can they do that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're able to take pictures with them. And
so I'm gonna take
beholder,
it.
The little beholder pops out of the centerpiece and takes not like a flash photo or anything in that regard, but like a detailed like scan, and you see the picture appear on the screen along with your detailed description of these sort of statuesque beings. And I think
get the fuck out of there as fast as possible.
I think that couldn't have gone any better than I was expecting this to go. I didn't think when you said you were gonna go all Kornoth, I thought you were about to Rambo in there to some real terrible shit.
No,
and I was just like, this isn't gonna be good if we do that. But I'm happy with how that goes. You're able to get your way out of there. No problem.
All the things that we faced, I don't know why, but these fucking statues give me the worst heebie-jeebies I've ever fucking, like, I don't know what it is about, like, I'm getting, like, the fucking Thor, like, sentient, like, thing that, like, shoots fire beams out of its face.
Oh my god, yes.
That's what I'm getting from these things, and I'm like, as soon as you said, oh, there's these huge glass statues, I was like,
well, I want to make sure
these things are going to be like
huge.
Yeah,
they're huge.
But like
they're as tall as you are.
Hulking.
They're about your height.
Yeah.
in sort of your similar build, maybe. Like also, sort of like vague representations of the crystalline dragonborn.
Okay, so Kornoth has been doing a lot of missions for the Restuary. One, because he was trying to find more information with the gems for his gauntlets, but also just because he was actually just trying to save up gold, because it is, you can decide how quickly, once we get through it, how quickly it would have taken him to like get enough money for all this stuff. But basically he has a magical shopping list that he's like basically going to, like, he's been saving up to get magical items that he just wants for like his research and stuff. One of them, which is the most important one, is he needs a tattoo pen or a tattoo needle. Is it a tattoo pen or a needle? Needle?
I think the needle. Let's go with the needle.
He needs a tattoo needle that will work on Jinhan, because something that was established at the end of the last season is that his, like, they would stab him with a needle, and then Kornoth wants him to get tattoos. Tell you,
because of the nature of how things have been going, and you've been researching this needle, like you said, and trying to find something like that, I want to leave you in charge of naming said object, per se, because, like, I'll be honest, I don't know how to like name a magical needle, but you could like pull something out of your ass where it's like it's an ore and you turn it into a needle or something. Well, you know? So like, I don't know where
that's
you're going
one thing is I don't think Kornoth is someone who could make it. It would have to be someone where either he paid for them to make it like a custom piece, or like it's just something you can buy. And so like he would have been going to like magical shops and stuff, and probably I figured he would be in talks with an artificer to kind of get these magical items.
Definitely.
So you can decide how long it would take for him to kind of get enough for the list of items and how long it would take the artificer. But basically he's been doing jobs for the Restuary, a lot of them solo, kind of like the last one, to save up money for these items.
I think the main thing you would probably the artificer would probably need, like, just like some random blood Joe guy. He's like, hey man, what's going on? You need me to make something for you, or
yes, I need some of these I think are pretty standard, so you might just have them in the back. But if you could get I need magical ink. The paper kind, not the skin kind. I believe they're different, but I also don't know. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I've never actually thought about that myself.
Actually, you know what? I'm running low on.
I've seen people do like the stick and pokes with a pen.
No.
Sorry.
No. Do not. This is not prison rules. I would like quality. No, I also do need a tattoo needle capable of penetrating not typically penetratable skin. For very tough skin, magically tough, some would say. Other would say abominationally tough. So if I
someone say moldy tough.
Some would say moldy tough. Some would say moldy tough skin.
I like the idea of Bugnacious being there on this run.
And
I'm just sitting in the back, twiddling my thumbs.
Stuff on the wall.
I also need a kind of a set of magical sheaths, for a weapon. You can kind
sheets
of
for paper.
No, sheath like for a weapon.
Like sheath.
Sheath, yes. Scabbard, is that a better word for you?
I don't. Sure. Yeah. So I can
quiver,
provide you
but
with that.
for a stick. Is that good?
I can provide you with like that setup stuff for the weapons, the ink, magic ink's no problem. I got magic ink.
Awesome. And then there was one more thing.
What do you mean? When you talk about the magical implement to cut a sort of magical abomination?
I'll give you. I have mine. If you can enchant mine, that would be awesome. So he pulls out his.
No.
He pulls out his like ancestral like tattoo needle that he has.
Describe it to me. Is it very steampunky? Is it more like crude sort of?
I actually think it's more crude. I don't think this is like an artifact thing. I think this is kind of something that is just
a lot of manual cranking situations.
Right? Yeah, it's like his family. Like It's from a gladiator tribe that lived up in the mountains. So I actually think it's a very mechanical like turn.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, this is pre fuck up of the. This is nice.
Yeah, it is very important.
I'm not like one of those people who's going to haggle with you, but I'm saying you could get a lot more than a needle tip for something like this.
No. This is not trade. This is not trade.
Oh.
No. This is.
So you want me to soup up your? Okay.
Yes. Okay. I have family member who has particularly tough skin, and there's also kind of a little bit of a weird shiftiness to his skin. So I was trying to be able to give him a tattoo. Like mine, and he like takes off his shirt to like show off his like back tattoo.
Aren't you like covered in tattoos though?
Yes, I am basically covered head. The only place is like my head doesn't have any tattoos, but basically everywhere else on my body. So he probably already saw tattoos.
Like Maddie Matheson.
Yeah, he probably already saw tattoos. But he's like, yes, I wish to tattoo familial. It does not. Details are not necessary for you.
No, for sure. Yeah, yes. I mean, you could have just said, do you want to see my bod or whatever? I mean, I get what tattoos are.
No, you're right. That's fair.
Did you not think I didn't know how tattoos... I was confused by the ink situation with you earlier. It's like you don't pay attention to it. Listen,
Hold on. I think I am failing at communication again. Am I coming off as... What is word?
Not rude,
asshole? Am I coming off asshole?
No.
Okay, good. Not
You're just coming off as somebody who isn't paying attention all that much because you gotta slow... slow down. Just if I could just tell you to slow down.
As he's saying, you need to pay attention. He keeps looking down at his list of
listen. I can stop looking at the list.
God,
give me the list.
I hold it in my pocket.
No. He takes the list if it's a part of the tattoo stuff. He's like, listen,
it's on
all
the
stuff that you need that is here, I can get you. I'm gonna need. He sort of like leans back and he's like, I'm gonna need about a $350 worth gold, a diamond.
Okay,
$350 gold worth diamond, like a big diamond.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do
a chunky boy. It doesn't have to be like perfectly hewn or anything. If you find one on the wall, like we literally live underground. I don't know how easy it is to find a diamond.
This is probably where diamonds are.
But if you can go to a jeweler or something, pick up a diamond worth $350.
Yes.
Bring that back to me. I'll have this tattoo gun back to you in about a week.
Okay.
Oh, that is fantastic. Keeps doing this like looking at the gun.
Diamonds are like 15 blocks up from bedrock.
So it's like 15 floors up from.
Just leave.
God damn. I'm gonna make a Minecraft one-off for it. It's Minecraft Hunger Games.
But yeah, no, he comes back with the ink and a couple of the. I think for the staff situation, he has like this sort of like ornate little folding kind of like it's like a box with like a rope thing, and when you quickly pull the rope, the staff pops out and you can grab it.
No.
Carry it on you.
This is.
I think you said you needed something for his staff and.
No. Sheet for like weapon, not staff. Just example. Staff was example. Yes, and ideally.
What is the weapon? Well, then show me the weapon that I need to be putting in the.
I didn't bring it with me. I don't think I'm allowed to just bring weapons all over the place. I feel like they're.
Why not? You know how many guilds there are out here, guy? We're literally in a guild right now.
No, that's a fair point.
That specializes in picking up dangerous things and moving them into the guild.
Okay, can I be straight with you? It is not for me. I don't have access to weapon.
Oh. Okay.
It is.
Well, what do you? Is it a sword?
Yes.
Is it a knife?
There are 3 swords.
It's a sword.
3 swords.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you know how you asked me earlier about whether or not you were kind of being. You're kind of being a dick, kind of being an asshole.
I am. I'm sorry.
Not having this information present, and you told me about a staff, so I got you a box for a staff.
You know what?
But it's fine. It's fine. So 3 swords. That's it. No other weapons. No secret sword somewhere.
No. 3 swords. 3 three swords. They can be. You can give me the same sheet 3 times. You could do something else if you want. I do not. Just
no. It's not the problem making it. I have items in the store. It's just, typically. Right. So let's look at it like this. You got those fancy gauntlets, right?
Right. Yes, fancy gauntlets.
Not everybody.
These are my weapons, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody's going to be able to fit in something designed for a Goliath hand. And I could have all the sheaths in the world if I don't know if it's a long sword, short sword. Like, you got to bring the weapon in, buddy. I'm sorry. It's not a matter of. I can give you a sheath, but then you're gonna just be making trips back and forth. What are we doing here?
Do you not have like magical sheath that could like adapt? It's supposed to be like a surprise.
Again, more details. Okay? Listen, I tell you what. In that same, give me a week and a half, and I'll make you a leather sheath that just expands and shrinks to the weapon that's put in it.
Oh,
that's not a hard enchantment, but that's not going to cost. That just.
Does Kornoth have any pictures of us like as a group on
his tablet? On your tablet.
Oh, he shows the picture, the group picture. He shows the group picture, and he like these ones, these 3. Is this good? Is this good?
Okay, these are those are about.
You make you can
long
make it.
Swords. Those are long swords. Yeah, you would say.
I do not know.
You've been with the guy. I'm guessing off a picture. Those look like long swords.
Do the best you can. Make a cool magical effect. I just want nice.
Okay, I mean,
God, I miss Kornoth.
You got
so
it,
much.
buddy. Okay, like what kind of magic are you talking? Do you want him to dip it in and then like he pulls out like a new sword? Do you want it to be able to like lock the sword there so like he's the only one who can pull the sword out at certain times so he doesn't get pickpocketed or whatever?
What are
you talking?
The one sword you see the back sword. Do that for that one. That would be perfect.
Okay, so one sword that can't be taken by anyone but him.
The other,
like a sword in the stock. Got you. Okay.
The other 2 is kind of like a pair. So if you want to
What's your name, buddy? Hey.
Kornoth. Yes, you would need that
It's a pleasure to meet you.
That's
Drum.
not true. I know who I am.
No, I
nice
just
to meet you, Drum.
I was being genuine.
Oh, thank you.
You're not the worst. You're kind of awful, but like most people are. But I'm
My
Drum.
books are working.
DROM.
My books are working. I am glad.
Anyway, you got one that's got to be locked up real tight. What's the other 2?
The other 2, mystery. Use your creativity. Use your creativity. I have no
That's
preference.
not how purchases work, my friend. Things cost money.
Do you not have like an artistic heart?
I'm a salesman, buddy. I'm just trying to put food on my family's table. That's a lie. I don't have a family. I'm a single guy. But you know what I mean? I got 2 dogs.
Okay, this is funny, and I think it's perfect for Kornoth. So with the tablets, we can like just send messages to each other.
Are you
right?
gonna send a picture of this random man to your friend?
No. Here's what it's gonna be. Because Kornoth does not know how to be a social person.
Are you calling one of your friends to tell them?
Is texting a thing? Or
it's not a. I mean, you can send messages via text wise, but like the whole thing of it is like the call thing. They raise up like these little like.
Okay, so then Kornoth is gonna go. Okay, hold on. We continue this.
Like anytime y'all have received a text, it's for like the mission objective stuff.
Okay, so Kornoth is going to get to a corner to where you can't tell what kind of room he's in, and he's going to he's gonna call Eldrick, and just like talk to him, just very quickly. Hello, Eldrick.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. This is happening after his stuff. This is pretty late night. So you're probably waking Eldrick up.
Presumably not the same day, not the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eldrick, hello. Yes. It is. Hello. I have quick hypothetical question. If you like could do something cool with your swords, hypothetically, when you put them in sheath,
I do it.
Well, no, but like, what would you like if you had cool hypothetical magical sheath for your 2 twin swords? Hypothetically, what would you do?
I mean, my 2 swords sometimes can combine into one sword. So I don't know, maybe like a sheath that can be 2 sheaths, but also 1 sheath. Maybe. I don't know.
Osmosis sheath.
Bill Murray eats a gross boiled sheath.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, you want a sheath that can like ditto itself into another sheath?
How dirty do your swords get? Very dirty, or they stay clean because they're magic?
You want a soap sheath? I can make you a soap sheath.
It depends how many people. It depends how many people I kill.
Okay.
I mean,
thank you.
Usually they're pretty clean.
Okay. Do you have to like ever sharpen them or anything, or is it? I don't know how the magical items work.
You know, I've never really thought about it. I guess they're just always sharp.
Okay.
Jesus.
I thank you. This was helpful. Good night. Goodbye. And he hangs up.
Oh. Okay.
And you just see him quietly writing. It's like, all right, so the options you ran through.
Did that help like at all?
A double helix osmosis sheath, scrub time, scrub daddy soap sheath. We also have the extra sharpness sheath. These are just options you've said. Like, I'm just tossing them back at you.
So it seems like he's clean. Is there
with
any
the
way,
soap one? With the soap one.
Yes.
I understand that that's not the most helpful thing, but I could do something pretty fun with that.
If you could, so they're magical swords. So if
you said you wanted mystery, you wanted something.
Yes.
You know,
oh no, have I inspired you? Have you been inspired artistically?
You know what? From that painstaking phone call that was very loudly happening in the corner by all my sensitive items and books, I'd say sure.
Excellent. Terrific. Thank you. Okay.
You come back in like a week and 3 days. Just check on it.
Oh, and the last one...
Again, gotta bring that diamond before any of this gets started.
I bring diamond. Yes. And then last thing I just want to explain. When I say portable hall, but for library, I mean like they have the handkerchief portable hole, but instead of like big hole, I wanted like a room.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Portable room?
Well, it's like hole, but like horizontal.
Well, the portable hole is about 15 foot by 15 foot in diameter or something like that.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough for library. I just needed not to go down. I just needed to go to like a wall.
If wherever you put it, it's going to go that way, right? So like you put the portable hole in the wall, you're not going to just fall down. You're gonna
so I could just use normal portable hole and like build a library in there?
This is Kyle going to say that above that. Fuck whatever D&D's on if that makes you go down no matter what. That's stupid as hell.
He wants to have like a little portable library so that he can have like his like a portable study kind of thing.
You know that ability this is Kyle talking to you. There's a wizard thing where you can make like the little sanctum.
Yes. So the sanctum, you have to enchant a room that already exists. That's why he wants that spell. Yes.
We could put that into a scroll or like some sort of item.
Well, the issue is it enchants a physical room. So I need the physical room first. That's why he wanted the portable hole to get a physical room.
You got upgraded digs at the thing. You could technically do that with your room.
Yes, but
there's library stock stuff.
He wants to be able to study in the middle of the cave on missions because he's a nerd. He is a book nerd.
I think we can go with that. And if you could find the exact spell, write up a scroll for yourself, and like it would just be portable hole. I mean, it sounds like I can just use portable hole. And like I thought you wanted the specifics of a room because portable hole is just a hole,
right? But you can
is empty.
If you put stuff in it, it stays in there. So I could just build.
Yeah, I know it stays in there. By the logic of what we've been trying to set up with things, depending on how you put that, you're just flipping your library around.
Right. So I just don't put it on the ground.
You just gotta know where you're opening it. Yeah, yes. Don't put it on the ground.
And I'm nailing everything down.
Exactly. You got to. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it a real mess.
And there's a pile of books.
So yeah, add a portable hole.
Yeah. Yes.
Add a portable hole. Add like, I'd say he had like 6 bottles of magic ink.
Lovely.
Not like, is it tattoo ink or ink? Because you made a weird distinction. Yeah.
No, like ink.
I'd say give you like 6 or 7 bottles of magic ink. You need magic paper too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure how you use your magic. I assume this is all for flavor for your actual doing of magic and things.
Yes. I think I don't. I think it just needs magic ink. I don't think you need magic paper. It just has to be normal parchment paper.
So we got the magic. I think the magic is in any of the smaller, lesser components, and like you said, once you bring in that diamond. Yes.
Okay,
Which,
then
like, we don't have to play through that. You go talk to some guy.
Yes.
Who runs a jewelry store. He's like, $350, baby. If you want this rock and it's not cut. You know where I got this?
I do
you know
not
where I got it?
Is it underground?
Your mom's house. I'm not telling you where I get my diamonds, you idiot.
You're more aggressive than I am.
You want the diamond or not? And he puts down like a tangerine-sized diamond, like a pretty hefty fucking diamond. He's like, $350, buddy.
He gives him over the money. I'm not sure how much of like that his savings all this is. I presumed all of it for all this. Like I assumed all of these magical items will just cost however much money he earned.
You can have some money left over. I'm not gonna stickle you on it, but just like
Kornoth is not good with his money.
Mark down the little component shit I'm not worried about, but mark down at the very least you are missing now $350.
Yeah.
And you have a $350 worth diamond. Still covered in like the dirty shit.
Well, I wouldn't, right? Because I'd just give him the diamond immediately.
Yeah, I mean, in the moment, decided, wow, it's that easy to pick up a $350 diamond. Maybe I'll keep this and not get the tattoo done.
It's pretty good for like. I think Eldrick could just go get a diamond whenever. But.
Exactly, enough looking and enough gumption. But yeah, you bring it back. And he's like, holy shit, that was a.
Lil Crumb probably is pretty good at finding diamonds as well.
Yes,
right, man. Yeah, like I said.
The jeweler did say something about it being 2 a.m. and how dare I wake him up, but he seemed nice after that. After he saw my size. Yes.
He doesn't understand that we're all underground. We can find stuff too. He doesn't have a special place. He's underground with us.
I don't know if this is offensive, but dwarf has short temper. Short temper. I do not know if that's okay or not to say.
I don't. Hey, you know, I'd have a short temper myself if you woke me up at 2 a.m. as well. But you did do that to me, and I'm fine.
No, I technically woke you up at 1 a.m. and you've stayed. You know what? I'm doing the thing where I make people angry. I'm doing the thing.
He just stares off in that middle distance again as you say that. Just like
Yes.
You're really testing my patience, and I think this is going to be a good thing to talk to my therapist about later. But I have the diamond now. You can go.
A lot of people say that. Good night. And he just walks out.
Good night. And he closes the door. Not hard, but just like very intently. Like you're done here. And now, in like a week's time, you get your diamond, your new fucking magic diamond tip. And you can start tatting up Gene Han.
Diamond tip.
Oh, yeah.
So that was...
It's Drom's diamond tip. That's what you can put in your Drom's diamond tip.
Hell yeah.
So this is kind of up to everybody. I had two ideas.
Yeah, we're going to the group activity now. You know I'm the host, right? I can do this.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Now we're heading over to our group activity. No, I'm messing with you, man. We're going to our group activity. I think Jeremy had some ideas.
Oh, gross.
Anyway.
Can you cut all that, Tyler? That was nasty.
Please.
That was unpleasant.
Make it louder.
Add reverb.
Put some auto-tune on it.
I'm going to cut all this and add the censor beep again.
I don't know if you guys had other idea. I had an idea of like us getting together for Jihan's first birthday for his birthday.
Oh,
that's
birthday.
Such a good idea.
That is the sweetest shit.
I love that.
Like,
oh my god.
Listen, Kornoth is actually
I have
very
nothing better than that. Go ahead.
That's
Go on.
so good.
That's great.
Jeremy.
I'm proud of I'm proud of us as a group for coming up with something wholesome for the first time ever to do in any D&D thing.
We love Gene Han on this show.
Yeah.
I have to imagine the fans
Gene Han
do
is
too.
the sunshine of Road to Redemption.
Gene Han is the sunshine of Road to Redemption. Sunshine's not even really the sunshine of Wanderful Proverb, but it's fine.
I love
sunshine is the sunshine of my heart. That's all I know.
I love how Jeremy was like thinking this super wholesome like idea, and the whole time I was just thinking, I was like, I'm surprised we haven't been to like a magical like sex shop yet. In any of our adventures. Is that what you're getting
Gene Han for his birthday? A pocket pussy?
It's one of those kind of birthdays.
I had an idea for that would be a gift from all three of us.
It's just a bachelorette party for Gene Han. I love it.
Well, no, it's just So y'all aren't going to have any context, but basically I sent you guys Jinhan birthday invitations that look as terrible as you think a Goliath with bad social skills would make invitation card.
No. You don't get to decide whether or not they're dog shit.
Oh, God.
Give me a soul roll.
Oh.
So while he does that, I want to say, assuming they're bad, what'd you roll?
They're fucking fantastic. I rolled 10 plus I think my spirit's 1, so 11.
Never mind.
Wow.
Yeah, never mind what I was gonna say.
Perfect.
It's like these beautiful sort of watercolor and like colored pencils, sort of like charcoal, like
pastel.
Is that his
drawings.
secret skill?
And it's like, and it just says no other information. Jinhan birthday party. That's it. But it's like
here's the canon for Kornoth. Kornoth is extremely talented because he's studied things like this, but it lacks soul. It lacks. Yeah. It's a little too manufactured. Like it's beautiful, but it doesn't have like personality.
So instead of it being like a cutesy Jinhan birthday party, it just says Jinhan birthday party with periods.
It's like from The Office. It's like happy birthday period.
It's in Times New Roman.
In perfect calligraphy.
Exactly. Like I think it's probably in Giant, like some like dope ass Giant script because you're Goliath. Like it's like really well done. And it's like got these cool drawings of like moles and like dew glosses all over it. But in the middle, it just says Jinhan birthday. That's it.
Jinhan birthday.
And you guys all take that to assume that he's trying to throw a birthday party for his brother cousin.
Is this the first birthday? Is that what we're going for?
It's up to Kyle. It depends on how long he thinks it would have taken me to get enough money for all those magic items.
He's not canonically like a baby. He's an adult, but like he is.
But like
Jinhan
in this
is
state.
Jinhan
But
is one.
this is his first celebrated birthday party. I think you and him have done stuff.
Should we say this is like his 5th so that we can canonically be like, the stuff that's already happened, we don't have to worry about contradicting?
Yes. I think let's say
if that's not what you want, that's great.
Yeah, no, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Since we just did all this, so we don't accidentally contradict anything.
Cool. 5 years old. This is what he's 5 years old.
I'm a Samael man. I'm 5 years old.
So what are y'all doing? What are you setting up for the festivities? I think, who do you all invite? That's better. Who is all invited?
Also, where is
Jinhan's birthday party?
So hear me out. This was because I'm thinking about it from Kornoth. Kornoth invited just them, so it's only us 4, and and there's like a buffet. And the person working the buffet is that guy he arrested, like the fireworks guy he arrested is serving punch.
That's
and
fucking
he is
good.
So proud of himself.
I think you see him, like you guys arrive at like. Is this happening at the Restuary, or did you go somewhere special for this? Or
I think it's in his room. Because like
it's not even like
no. This is. Kornoth did his best. Kornoth is not a party planner. He has bad charisma.
Can I before we continue, Kyle, can I just say I feel like, and if not, it's cool. Bugnacious probably saw this coming and planned a backup party just in case this was garbage. Knowing Kornoth, listen, we don't have to go there. I don't have to tell anyone. But
no, I was just gonna say, I think after you got the notes, you might have rushed over and saw him setting up the room with like all the stuff that like Jinhan could easily just walk in at any moment and be spoiled by the surprise. And
no, like, Jinhan is at the park. Jinhan is at park. We have time. He walks in there like.
Look, Jinhan would probably love this because he's basically a baby and wouldn't know the difference. But this sucks, Kornoth.
But I have little party hats. He's wearing a little.
No,
party
the hats
hat.
are good. The hats are good. We're gonna keep those. But everything else here, terrible. Why is that guy here? And it's the firework guy in the corner waving.
You see him like with a spatula behind like a like the fantasy equivalent of a fold out table and like a couple plates of like food that I would assume Kornoth bought earlier in the day that has been sitting on this table.
It's been sitting out. Yes, it's been sitting out. Kornoth is doing his best, but he's not good at this. He just like turns to you and he goes,
there's a fine normal cake and like several like sandwiches and little like puff pastry things that are like deflated and definitely look stale to the eye. Like,
what was the fireworks guy's name? I can't remember.
Oh, that's Grucci.
Grucci is on probation. This is his time community service.
Yes, they found that because I had a hand in things and they don't quite know my innocence, that a fair enough punishment would be to work here with Jinhan and my dear friend Kornoth.
Yes, we are friends now.
I think Boognacious.
He said by law we are friends. I don't know what that means.
And Kornoth kind of listened to this guy in silence, and then Boognacious kind of turns back to Kornoth and stands in between the two of them with his back to Grucci and says,
Kornoth has the
"Dude,
biggest,
this fucking
happiest
sucks."
smile.
Sorry, I need to do a character voice. Kornoth, this sucks. Listen, I love what you're doing. I am super excited to celebrate Jinhan. We all love Jinhan. I like Jinhan like twice as much as I like you. But this party is about on the level of what I would expect you to throw a party. And no offense, some offense. This party is going to kind of blow. I'm sure, like I said earlier, I'm sure Jinhan would have a good time. I just think we could do better.
But
I'm just suggesting I help. I want to up it. Like, I don't want to take over. This is your thing. I'm not trying to take that over from you. He deserves a little bit more than this. I'm sorry, that was harsh. Sorry, you've rubbed off on me more than I'm probably proud of.
No, you're right. Your words hurt, but you are right. He deserves better than what I can do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kornoth.
I trust you.
Jinhan just deserves the best in this world.
No,
and as you say that on your tablet, you get a picture of Jinhan holding a merc monk and like giving you a thumbs up at the park, and then another picture of the camera like falling, and you can clearly see the merc monk jumping on him.
And I look at it and I'm like, see, he deserves
so
the best we could possibly do. There's lots of good stuff here, and I think Boognacious is looking at the walls in the buffet. The buffet is a great idea. And hey, this is the fireworks guy you were talking about, right? Maybe he's got some cool fireworks we could like. I don't
think he's allowed to use fireworks because of probation rules.
Well,
we do it secret. We do it criminal.
I can't have any explosives, but this, and he lights one of the candles, and it's a sparkler candle. I got these.
Yes,
listen, Grucci,
that's cool.
Jinhan's gonna love that.
And they don't melt with wax down onto the. It's like a contained spark until you, and he puts it out. So the cake is fine.
Oh, also, wait, okay, so he had those on the, because I was going to say, I think Kornoth would have lit those candles way too early, so like there might already be melting on the wax.
Yeah, they don't melt, but the frosting at the top of the cake where those candles have been sitting is charred and like melting away.
I did not.
And it doesn't say happy birthday Jinhan, it just says Hab Jean.
Happy G. I'm sorry. I ran out of gold for
Habjeem.
I ran out of gold on gifts, so I could not afford all the letters. I thought these were enough letters.
I'm going to be honest with you. Happy doesn't have the letter B in it, but somehow you did it.
I sorry. Common is not my first language. It is my second language. Giant is my first language.
But yeah, I can do fireworksy things, but I don't have to be in charge of food. If I'm being honest, I eat mushrooms off the cave wall that I used to live in. So
yeah, I do. I do too. I don't. What does Jinhan like to eat?
Oh wait, wasn't Eldrick like Prince or something before?
Why isn't Eldrick here? I'm gonna call Eldrick real quick.
He's calling.
Eldrick was definitely sleeping again. Hello.
Eldrick, you're coming to birthday party for Jinhan, yes? You're on your way? Yes?
What time is it?
Time for birthday party.
Eldrick, just get over here.
At this point, it's the next day. It's about like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no, he's definitely still sleeping.
Well, you answered the phone, so get over here.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be there. So where am I? Where is here? Where am I going?
I don't know. Apparently, my room is bad place for party. Where are we going?
Yeah, I agree. Don't do it at your house.
Why is he such
Okay,
common knowledge? I thought I
the
had
world's
a
your
nice
oyster
room.
if y'all want to pick a new spot. Where do y'all want to go?
Just come down here to where are we again? Come down here to
Yeah, y'all are
Restuary,
at Restuary.
and
right.
we'll let you know. We'll figure out where that is.
Okay, I'm coming.
And so they meet up and they go to the place.
I think we.
Yeah, you
I
leave
think.
now.
I think me along with Kornoth probably talk the guild into letting us use one of the guild halls as a party, because I think with the like little bit of clout we got from that mission, Gene Han being this like crazy thing, I think the guild is down for it.
Do you want to? You've got a connection over at the Hook and Cleaver. You want to call?
Oh yeah,
like Shelby or one of them.
oh yeah, yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Oh shit!
I forgot about that. Yes, 100%.
Perfect, yeah.
I'm calling Shelby.
So yeah.
What is a Shelby?
Oh, Shelby's.
He
this
takes your
person
tablet
I met.
and
You're in for a treat.
and her hair's up in like the like almost like Princess Leia buns with like 2 long braids, and she's like, "What's up? Hey, what's going on?"
Hello, Shelby. We are here for the party.
Oh god!
Hello, Shelby.
I'm sorry. What?
We are here. We're throwing a party for our friend Gene Han, and we're here
why are you
to throw
talking
that
like this?
party.
Why are you talking like this?
I lean over to Kornoth. This is my new charismatic voice.
Oh, let me try. Hello, I am also very suave person. Hello, Shelby. Nice to
Ignatius,
meet
why are you talking like that? And who is this?
I am Kuga
Sorry,
Kornoth.
Sorry, I've been taking
We
people
are
lessons.
friends now.
This is my friend Kornoth. He's probably gonna say some offensive shit in a minute. I promise.
He's just
he
sitting
means
there
well.
doing finger guns at her
And
quietly.
offensive is probably stronger than I mean. He's just like gonna say something stupid. But anyway,
Oh,
this
that's
is my
fine.
friend.
I hang out
We're
with
throwing-
Olga all day. They will probably get along
fair.
really well.
That's a good call. They'll probably be good friends. Sorry, I was
Oh,
trying
that
out my
sounds
new
like a
voice.
sexy lady.
Anyway, we're throwing a party, our 5th birthday party for our friend Gene Han. He's really older than 5, but
That is the most.
he
Wait, what?
He's a
he's
5-year-old
like-
grown man. It's a
he's like an
complicated.
adult, but he's only 5 because he got morphed with a dragon and like a mold guy.
Oh yes, I have
but-
diagram. Would you like to see complicated nest of diagram?
Okay.
I know it's
Yeah.
confusing, but he's
Yeah.
the sweetest person on the planet. I've never met anyone who dislikes him, because if they do,
I tell
they
you what,
better not tell me.
He just sent me a paper. I made it my screensaver. Look, it's him with a
Why
monkey.
don't? Hey, I can pack up some stuff if you're trying to get me to cook for a party, is what I'm gathering, or something.
That would be
I don't know
great,
that
but
I
if
want to
you-
bring
if
a
you don't
man
have
made out of
time-
mold into my kitchen.
Oh,
So I'd
it's
like a
it's not
portable-
really like actual mold.
He's
He doesn't
also-
have to come into the
Is
kitchen.
this person
but
alive for real? Are you
Yeah.
guys pranking me?
yes.
I think legally,
Kornoth?
yes.
Wait, you're legally pranking? What?
No. Kornoth, is he technically alive? Like, yes, he is.
He's
Effectively.
3/5 dead guy, but I think total he's alive.
It's
I mean, all right,
confusing. It's not mold in the sense of like food gone bad mold. I don't think. But he
Okay,
doesn't. He won't be in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
I
like
think-
shed too much.
we could there's like the rec center. People don't do much around that area other than hang out. We can go do something there. It's a more public space. They don't mind us cooking.
Sure. That sounds great. Kornoth just planned on doing the party in his bedroom, and I told him that was bad. So, like, the rec center
Is that
sounds
why
good.
he's on the sexy train?
I don't
I'm
really know.
No, I thought I was following lead. I was reading room. Did I not read room? Right?
You're doing great,
Listen,
Kornoth.
you guys,
you're doing.
just bring whatever ingredients you might want or whatever, or give me a menu. I'll whip something up. Do you need a? Please tell me you need a cake. Please tell me. And at this point, you look over at the cake, and the cake is visible.
Hold on. Can we just say that Grucci is holding the cake? Like he just came with.
Yeah,
his
no, he's
money.
definitely
Cake
he's
with
holding
the
it, but the
smoke.
cake is on fire. He's like, I didn't put these out. You didn't tell me.
I think I may need nude cake.
That cake is just like covered in soot.
Yeah, exactly. It's the ashes just burning into the cake.
Oh, I
But
almost.
Grucci's got dead hands, so it's not really hurting him, but it is burning him.
Also, hold on. This is an important detail. He has the party hats all over him, like he's just carrying them by wearing them.
So you're just like shoulders. Like you're a birthday Hellraiser right now.
Basically.
Birthday Hellraiser.
So like he takes one off and he's like, "It is so. Thank you so much for helping." And he tries to put one on her.
And it just kind of sinks through the screen because it's like a digital thing.
Wait. Oh, I thought we were at her. No,
I thought we were there.
No,
I thought y'all called. No, y'all said y'all called her.
No,
this was all happening.
We called Kornoth. I mean, we called Eldrick.
We called Eldrick.
And then you suggested that we could go to the...
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was so confused. I thought this was all happening on the phone.
Gotcha.
He reaches over and tries to put it on her head. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the party.
Okay. Sure.
And then we give her a menu.
Some stuff. We're going to cook. And you hear all go, woohoo! And she goes running out to set up the douglas, and they have like this like portable, almost like hibachi / like burner grill thing that she like wears on her back, kind of like a portable pack and play. And they go, y'all set up at this like recreational sort of like space that's like just beyond like the square near the Pillar of Remembrance, and it's just like a big sort of like auditorium style like building with like seating for like you could raise up like a stage or something like that, but it's like a more like dirted air, like not dirt but like like underground equivalent. So it could be dirt, it could be rocks, like it's like cleared out space to like set up stuff for like fairground kind of activities. It's not set up yet for any of the Day of Descent stuff or anything like that, so the space is pretty much free for anybody to use. There's like kids skateboarding outside. I don't know. Like, you know, like it's a rec center. I don't want it to seem like it's like one of those things where it's like nothing's going on here all the time. Like it's a public space that's welcome for everybody. And so she sets up and she's like, all right, just give us a few, I'd say like 2 hours. We can have grub going. You guys set up the decoration. Is the birthday boy, are one of you?
No,
one of you isn't made out of.
Birthday boy is at, he might be headed home. Someone might need to go get him.
Also, at this time, you guys Eldrick, probably get a call from Eldrick. I was
just about to say, at this point, Eldrick and Gene Han are at the at the room, and you get a picture.
Confused.
You get a picture that's like a top-down view of Gene Han looking directly into the camera with Eldrick.
Yeah.
Onto your tablet.
Yeah. I want you to know, Kornoth fucking panics and tries to point the camera at like the ground, and he's like talking above like this. Like he's holding the camera facing down, and
so that you can see like, you can see he's got like one of those band-aids to hold like a cut on his eyebrow closed, and like he's got a few scrapes, and like they're healed fine, but like, don't pick up the stuff at the park. I picked up one of the I picked up a lot of the animals. I'll be honest. I picked up a lot of the animals.
Did the Merc Monk get you?
It was They're
vicious little fuckers.
I didn't know he could talk.
Wait,
they all talk? He yelled at me. He's like, "Hey, put me down. I'm trying to hang out with my family and take care of my son."
They don't talk. That's drop the birthday party. That's
he kind of like
secret.
That was my attempt of a joke.
It was so good. So good.
He said, "God damn it, I'm tired of being held," but he mostly just screamed at me and bit me a couple times. But I did pick up other animals, and not all of them bite, but they Where are you guys at?
This is also important. Kornoth, he lifted it above his head, but then he realized you could see his party hats, so he put it really close to his face.
It's just his
all
eyes.
you can see is mostly his face, and in the corner, they can see Bugnacious like standing, looking up at them,
like smashed up close to
like,
it.
Most of it is just his face. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we are at what's it called, the recreation center?
Yeah, it's the rec center.
The rec center.
It's a rec center.
We are at the rec center. Come, but blindfold the Jihan."
He's talking to you, Eldrick.
And I'm just looking at Jihan. I think they want me to blindfold you for some reason.
Just do it.
Am I taking a nap?
You can nap
yeah,
on the
but
way.
like while you're still awake, I think. Like
yes, it's like a nap, but nothing like a nap. Yes,
like meditation.
Oh yeah,
sure. Can you meditate
let's go with
and
that.
walk? I think you can meditate and walk.
Meditate and walk? Shot. I've never done either at the same time.
You could ride on my back.
Yes, ride him like horsey.
Well, all right, that's a little. All right, you know what? We'll
all right,
be
birthday
there.
horse.
Oh right, I forget everyone else is younger than me. Horsey is like He's like the glidey things, but the normal, they have a hoof instead.
Eldrick already hung up.
Read a book.
Eldrick's already hung up.
Jinhan too is kind of pissed. He's like, I've read books. It's been years. I know what a horse was.
I just don't think that I like being compared to a horse. But sure, you want a little ride while you're blindfolded?
I mean, you don't have to. We can.
No, I actually wanted to give you a ride because you're dope as fuck.
Oh,
Catting him like
he just immediately just jumps onto your back.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm gonna put him on my shoulders, like this grown man, like
carrying another grown man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, yeah, no, you guys make your way to the rec center and you're doing cartwheels the whole way. You're the legs, he's the hands.
Oh yes.
Also, that's so tall because he's a Goliath still.
I'm actually gonna bust out my wings and I'm gonna fly us both into the park.
It must be like the saddest, like it must be hopping of gliding because like it's so much weight.
And they fly off, and they as they make it there, is there any zhuzh that you've done to the entrance that you don't want him to see? Because
I'm assuming Kornoth is not in charge of that anymore.
Okay, then
no, the room is unassuming.
Okay, the room is okay. So they make it to the rec center. He's like, "Cool, big building."
So who
is my
did
birthday?
You
This
invite?
big building? Am I getting this?
No, he doesn't know it's a birthday. It's a secret surprise.
I thought y'all were saying you established that he had some birthdays.
No,
Yeah,
I
This is
think
the
we were
first
saying
big
that
celebration.
well, I see what you're saying.
He's had some
What do you think?
birthdays,
He
but
has had
this is
some
the big
birthdays.
pomp and circumstance one.
yeah,
But he's never had a party. So
Yeah.
I don't know if
He's gotten gifts though. That's why he's like, big building. Am I gonna have this? Is this mine?
That's fair.
that makes
Kornoth
sense.
thinks it's a secret. Even though it's the exact same time, they do it every year. He thinks it's a secret.
But the surprise part of it is actually going to be a surprise because he's not expecting. So I think he walks in, and I think at this point, Grucci is now on his shit that he's known for, and it's dark, and there's nothing at first, and then you just see a column of lights heading downwards as a series of these like sort of like almost like bowls that he sets up. He goes running by really quickly and throws like a matchstick into each of them, and they light up with these like vibrant blue lights, blue, blue, blue. And as the beam hits a light up above, it shines into these little crystals, and it's almost like this disco ball ass pattern of these blue lights.
Yes.
And then as he's running up, he slides underneath the little buffet table and lights a wick. And behind the table, happy birthday with the B that you wrote in the last Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Kornoth is standing underneath that happy birthday, holding a bunch of sparklers, and he put a bunch of sparklers on the 20 like hats he's wearing. So after a few seconds, it just catches fire.
No, I was just about to say, roll me a body roll to see if he's too close to the fucking other fireworks.
Oh no, his hat absolutely after a couple seconds lights on fire, and he just goes, "Happy birthday!"
I think Jinhan screams. I think he doesn't understand at first, and he just draws his staff from behind his back, and he's like, what's going on?"
Jinhan would not know what a surprise party is.
And it's just fire and lights everywhere, and a tiny man scurrying, and two new ladies he's never met.
Oh,
because the last new lady he met tried to steal from you guys.
Yeah, true.
Does he think women just steal?
God. I don't think that he's not that naive, but I think he's just apprehensive about new folks.
Oh,
but he's like, oh, and like for a moment, like he's starting to realize there's something, like because he sees you guys are all there, but you're fine. You're all wearing the hats, but they're significantly not on fire. And he just looks at his cousin. He's like, what?
Oh, why? I think my head is hot. Did I?
It's on. You're on fire. Is everything okay?
Happy birthday, Jinhan.
happy birthday, my dude.
He takes one of
Is the gift you're killing my cousin?
Kornoth, panicking, not sure what to do, takes one of the punch bowls and just dumps it on his own head to put out the fire.
Sure. I think that's just from Shelby. She's like, sure.
I was gonna drink some of that, but okay.
And she's like now set up in like what you can see is like her guild attire that's almost like not quite like server-esque in like our real world. Like it's like combat server ready. Like she's got like these holsters with like different things in her
Like
weapons,
Monster Hunter
as well as spices and stuff. And she just looks like super like professional, like cut and dry, like she's in her element right now. She's like, yeah. And Olga's in like a similar but like slightly tight because she's like muscular ass uniform, and she's just kind of standing prim and proper. You've not seen her hair out of the braids, but it's combed back and pulled into a ponytail to be able to serve food. Like they're on some like real deal food service shit. Like they both are like prepared to fucking get it done. And like the spread before you guys is incredible. You see like these like little tiny like individualized cakes that are like tearing up into this like really dope like almost like a puffball mushroom-esque shaped cake with like this fondant and stuff, like really detailed mushroom cake, because y'all said he was like a moldy guy. And like down the edges of it, you can see like frosting that almost looks like mold at first, but when you touch it, you can see it's frosting.
Wow.
There's these like tiny versions of the omu thrice that you fought that are like these little deviled eggs that have been made that are like on these little spoons that you're supposed to eat in like one bite. Like all these crazy ornate things that you would not have expected to happen within like 2 hours and stuff. And they're just like, yeah, this is all welcome to eat anything. None of it costs money. This is all for you. Nice to meet you. He's green. It's your birthday. I'm sorry. Olga says that as she points out that he's green.
To be fair, I'm orange. That guy's blue. That guy's kind of a greenish blue.
Fair. I just mean to say, like, you weren't kidding about the, like, he literally looks like moss is what I mean. Like green like nature.
Oh, yeah.
Not like I wasn't. Wow, I see how that. Okay, let's back up. Hi, I'm Olga. Hello, I don't normally do that.
Kornoth, this is the one we were saying. That,
do you ever feel like you just get somebody?
I feel like when I talk sometimes it's like if I punch them in the face. Like I
totally agree. I have books practicing. Would you like to practice books with me?
Absolutely not. Reading's for nerds. I'm so sorry.
No.
Is Olga just a Landi?
Oh.
Olga's kind of a Landi.
But listen,
God.
You're a great guy, and I'm not saying you're a nerd, but nerds read. So kind of saying that. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm a doer. I like getting in the kitchen. I like getting in the field. Reading hurts my brain. And you could kind of see she's like just like a little nervous about the idea of reading in front of people kind of vibe you're getting. Like not quite. She's like, I'm not gonna.
Olga, do you not know how to read?
Her face just turns pale and she looks at you in a way that you've never seen her look at you, as if she's murdering you with her eyes. Like,
Bogdacious, that was insensitive.
Of course not.
Olga,
my book says
insensitive. And I place a hand on her shoulder.
DEWGLAS. Douglas. I know how to spell that.
Olga, listen. And I put a hand on her shoulder. That's really fucking stupid. I feel like I feel
she
like
just laughs and punches you in the shoulder.
Exactly. I feel like that's exactly what she would do to me in that situation.
She's like, listen, the only thing I need to know is the amount of money I'm being paid for a job and whether or not that job's far away.
Amen. I give her one of those cool Terminator handshakes or Predator handshakes.
And I think you guys kind of gather around for the stuff, and Grucci's kind of off to the side after he's done his performance. And you can see like this like spark in his eye of like all these lights and stuff he's set up. He's like, This is what I know. I can't prove it to any of them, but I can assure you this is the life I want to live. I'd love to do stuff like this. And he just holds up his fingers. He's got like witch finger sparklers on. This is so fun and magical. And thank you for letting me share in this moment. I'm not sure if I can.
No, yes, you can. Quick, I just wanted to, I'm not sure if you have watched, you do have like an hour and a half before your curfew. Just
for sure. Got to get back to Restuary.
No, I want you to enjoy party. No. You're
right.
You're a loner if you're not back on time. Listen, I get in trouble and you get in trouble. Nobody's happy.
No, you're good. I'll take a plate.
You're like a book I took out, but like a person.
They know where I'm at because of this whole thing. It's got an ankle bracelet, some sort of fantasy ankle bracelet.
It's got a crystal on it. A blinking crystal.
Do they call it an ankle bracelet? I don't think they do.
He's like, I'll just make a plate, mingle a little bit, and get out of here. But
yes,
I appreciate you not treating me like a prisoner. I guess.
Love you, Gucci.
Yeah, Eldrick's gonna dap him up like.
I like Gucci.
And he just kind of makes his plate, says his haze and everything, and then he kind of cleans up anything that he made up and you guys enjoy. The birthday party.
The thing is, Grucci's the best kind of war criminal, an accidental one.
I have a question, Kyle. Is there any kind of like water, like any kind of stream or like small waterfall or something nearby?
There's like a fountain in the middle of the place because the entrance area.
Perfect.
Like as you're coming in.
Kornoth he steps out of the party while everyone is mingling because he doesn't know how to talk to people. And he goes and tries to punch himself in the fountain. And then whenever he comes back, he's going to want to give a prepared speech he made little cards for. And so
I think this is like they're cutting into the cake, and like as they do it, you see that she set up a thing where like as he cuts into it, instead of spores, sprinkles spray out of the cake and like land onto the rest of the cake in this decorative sort of pattern. Like you literally cut into a puffball mushroom.
Oh my god.
It's like super in-depth shit, like crazy. And he's like kind of looking at you with a little frosting on his face. He's like, oh, and they kind of scurry to the table and they're all setting up everything. Speech.
Oh yes, it is my turn. Yes, he gets up and he's been quietly like he's barely interacted really in the party because he's been, after he cleaned himself up, he was just reading his speech cards over and over and flipping through them. Mm-hmm. So he brings out his speech card. He puts on his tiny little glasses that are human sized, even though he's a Goliath.
Olga definitely shouts nerd.
No, 100%. She's in the back. Boo. Reading sucks.
He doesn't know.
She just like right after that just thumbs up.
Okay. I am not good at speaking, so I prepare cards and I read books, which apparently makes me a big nerd.
It does.
I do not speak well. I speak not well and offensively. But I mean well. And book said best way to tell people how you feel is through actions and not words. And I'm better at actions. Not great, but better. So thank you everyone for making party much better. My party was not so good. Jinhan is very important family to me. And so I have gift for Jinhan for his 5th birthday that both Budnacious and Dragon Man, I forgot your name again. What is his name?
God damn it.
Who?
It's Eldrick,
who is my good friend. And I remember his name because we are good friends. And they helped me with this gift. It is a big gift. So Jinhan, if you will open gift, I will explain as you pull things out.
Oh, okay, I guess. Yeah.
So,
sure. Opening gift, and he's opening the gift now. He's opening.
So the first thing in the gift is that needle we talked about.
Ooh.
This is
Drum's diamond tip.
This is Drum's diamond tip. It is a needle that I will be finally able to share our history, our gladiator history with you, as I have wanted to since I was able to finally find family, even in new form. But I did not want it to just be about the Johann you were, because you are so many people now. And so Eldrick and Budnacious helped me with this part because I could not do it because it required talking to people. But they were able to track down a lot of the family genealogy of the different things that you are now. And so I have this tattoo design that has all the people's history that you are, not just the Johann, because you're more than the Johann and the guardman, I never got the name, and the two grunts, I never got the name, and the Draco.
Don't forget the leech.
Yes, and the
dragon.
Oh, by the way, you guys never told me. Was it Moss
I
Troll?
bet you know his name.
Was it Moss Troll or Moss and Troll?
Moss Troll.
It Moss Troll. Okay.
Moss Troll.
Yes, but all of those are now incorporated, so I can build you truly beautiful that incorporates not just Johann but Jinhan. And I really thank them because it required a lot of talking to strangers, and I have not great track record.
It's a book you said that you made of this information?
No. It's a tattoo design. It's a back tattoo design. Okay, it's a back tattoo design that has all the genealogies where like it's different colors and like they like it's kind of like a genealogy, but where the different layers and different colors are different genealogies, but like layered on top to each other. I think swirling together.
Like, he's looking at this and like from knowing stuff you have talked to him about and things and like interacting with you and like hearing memories of everything. He's just kind of like a little overwhelmed. He doesn't like express emotion quite how everybody else does at the moment, but like you can see in this thing, he's just like in this moment, he just kind of looks at you and looks at the design. He's like, thank you.
You are truly welcome. You are the first family I have had in a long time, and I would like to keep you around. Now, I know this is your birthday party, so I do apologize, but you came into my life around the same time as my first two friends. So I also got them gifts as well. And I apologize, it might be insensitive, but I thought, anniversary is your anniversary and my anniversary of making friends. To Bugnacious, if you would take this, I bought magical ink and then I made like a bunch of copies of that cool scroll you got from the weird pocket guy. I did not count. I just kind of wrote until I ran out of ink. So I think God will tell you how many copies you have, but I don't know. So,
I'll say within that time period of getting all of that in like a week's time, maybe like 10.
Cool.
Okay, perfect.
Just chalk it up to having 10 uses of that.
Yeah. So he made a bunch of copies, and then for Eldrick, I still do not know you very well, but I do know that you almost got your sword stolen at one time, and you have two cool swords, and you're very sword person. So I was like, what does sword person want? And I thought cool sheaths for your sword. So I have these for you if you'll open, and it's a stack of 3 sheaths. And
So the
you describe
so the first sheath is the one that is for the Vorpal sword, which will lock it to basically your own signature. Like you're the only one who would have access to being able to remove it from the sheath.
Very cool.
Wow.
The second one for the Topaz sword, because because of the irony of it all, he talked about a cleaning sheath or a soap sheath. This is the sheath of Bubble Wand. Whenever you draw your sword, roll a d20. If you roll a 20, you summon a 1 hit point animated bubble. However, and it fights alongside
bubble.
you. Yeah, exactly. Like think of the dirty bubble or bubble buddy, but like you can shape it however you want, basically like SpongeBob ass rules. But it has 1 hit point and no AC. If it's hit, it pops. But for a moment, you can deal the like whatever equivalent of like whatever animal or like normal ass person you got.
Yeah.
And then your final sheath is a sharpening sheath, and so the sapphires. I forget the fucking names. You probably have them in front of you, but your sapphire sword gets upon its first use has +2 to the attack.
Zeknog?
For sure.
Wow.
No, Zegnog's the Topaz.
No, I know his name, but
I thought you were
Afani. Afani is the
Kornoth.
What?
These are great.
I don't know what to say. I mean, that's
I'm a little speechless too.
Thank you.
Jinan, you got yourself a good cousin here.
I've watched you for a long time in the span of my life. And a lot of people like to call you an asshole. And in some regard, I don't know. Maybe they're right. But
yes.
You're a thoughtful asshole.
Yeah,
You're trying.
I did good. I thought I did bad again. I thought I was about to get in trouble.
No. For someone who's... And this is Gene Han speaking to you. For someone who's... I don't have any memory of anything or know who I am really, but I hope I'm like you. I want to be like you.
I think Kornoth like just stands and just like just tears, but like he's not. He's not.
And he comes up to you in that moment and gives you a hug, and he doesn't cry the same. Yeah. As like everybody else, but like you can feel in that moment he's like trying to take on. Well, no, I just mean in the sense of like I feel like he doesn't. His emotions aren't the same. Like I try to play him this bland character because like to a sense he's like still figuring things out, but he's also like by nature he wants to take on whatever is happening. He wants to, you know, in feeling that moment, he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm sorry."
No, I think it's happy. Bugnacious is happy?
Oh.
I think he's happy.
Eldrick's gonna step in and
hope it's a group hug.
And join in on the hug. Come on, Lil Crumb.
Hell yeah.
So you're moving in for the... Yes. I think Olga hugs all of you. Like, she's a little bigger than you guys. She's like, I don't know if I was a part of this, but this was very sweet. And Shelby's like... I was
literally about to say, Shelby, come on.
Come on.
And Shelby just reluctantly runs over and like, I think the camera pans away and you see Grucci at the door with his plate of food and he kind of smiles and turns to walk back to Restuary.
That was so sweet I cried motor oil out of my robo-ear ducts. Luckily Wanderful proper starts on the 19th. That's gonna be sick. Happy birthday to my sweet baby boy Jinhan.